Hello, my queens and kings. Welcome to Pharaoh Tarot. I'm Butterfly Williams, and I'll be serving up a moonwave reading for the waxing moon in Gemini. How you doing? I'm so grateful that you've chosen to spend your time here with Pharaoh Tarot. What we do here is channel ancestral wisdom for contemporary times through tarot and oracle card readings. If any of what I'm about to say resonates with you, please like, subscribe, share, and comment. It really helps out the channel. All right, so how I like to do things is I start off with a short traditional West African prayer to the ancestors, followed by the initiation rite for the waxing moon in Gemini, followed by the pile selection. We have an Afrofuturist aesthetic here, so you'll note that the piles are named after certain concepts from ancient Egyptian culture. All right, without further ado, let's get right on into it. Omi Tutu, Ona Tutu, Ile Tutu, Tutu Egun. Dear ancestors, please fill these cards with your love, your wisdom, and your compassion, and help me to channel messages of love, abundance, and freedom for all those who have gathered here for the moonwave reading for the waxing moon in Gemini. I hope you enjoy the lit candle and the glass of cool, clear, fresh water that I have provided for you. Ashe. So, the initiation rite for the waxing moon in Gemini. When we're talking about a waxing moon, we are talking about emerging from the cocoon of the new moon energies, and we are beginning to re-emerge into the real world. We are beginning to re-engage with those that we love and like and hold dear. We start, networking with those who can help us to develop and grow. We reach out to others to share with them our news, our gifts, our talents. It's very much a time of growing and developing and seeking out. In many ways, it's the most exciting of the moon phases because it's about encountering the new and figuring out how we can relate to it, or encountering the old and figuring out how we can relate to that. But there's definitely the effort to seek out, to relate, to engage, to share who we are with others. Gemini. I like to say that Gemini is the most fun of all the zodiac signs. Gemini is about speaking, finding out, communicating, relating, showing your skills, being flexible, being dual, considering one side and then the other side. To a certain extent, it's about being, fashionable, being hip, knowing what's going on in popular culture, being adaptable, knowing what other people like, and giving it to them or not. Gemini is associated with brotherhood and sisterhood, with neighborhoods. For some reason, hoods are very popular with Geminis. Gossip, yes. Something that comes to mind with Gemini, given recent current events, is propaganda and information campaigns. Gemini is mercurial, meaning it adjusts its communication according to its audience. This is a very interesting trait because one is not always sure of how to interact with Gemini. Can Gemini be trusted? If it's saying one thing one day and then another thing, the next, one is not always quite sure where you stand with Gemini. Gemini might like it that way. Gemini likes being in the know. And that creates a certain kind of power, especially cultural power, with Gemini. Determining who gets to know what. One of the negative characteristics of Gemini is a certain kind of flightiness, an unwillingness to be nailed down to one particular position or one particular way of looking at things. Of course, what's a weakness to one person is a strength to another. Information, trustworthiness, flexibility, fun. Who's in the know and who isn't in the know. So, when we combine the waxing energy with the Gemini energy, we're talking about growing in our powers of sophistication when it comes to finding out and managing information, and therefore being able to manipulate and respond to changes in the culture, particularly the culture that is immediately around us and that is immediately accessible. So, what's on, what's happening in your family, what's happening in your neighborhood, and then on another level, the kind of information that you're getting through your phone and on the television set, and maybe in the movies. How does the news, how does popular culture, how does gossiping among those you know affect your life? And how can you grow your powers to make communication and information that you're giving and receiving work for you? In the waxing energy, you are growing more powerful in your ability to know when to speak up and when to remain quiet. And you're becoming more savvy about how flows of information affect your life and affect the lives of those that you know and care about. That is the waxing moon in Gemini. So, all right, let's move on into the pile selection. Pile number 1 is this Malachite turtle. This is for the House of Life, your guide to ordinary waking reality for the moonwave cycle. Pile number 2 is this copper palm stone. This is for the Temple of the Sun, which is your guide to the behind-the-scenes workings of the world of spirit. Pile number 3 is this Angelite palm stone. This is for the Valley of Paradise, which will give you practical guidance for the moonwave cycle. And pile number 4, I forgot what this is called, but it has these kind of green inclusions in this glass or quartz. But anyways, we'll just call it the green teardrop. This is for the Council of the Elders, and that will integrate all the wisdom from the previous 3 piles. So pause the video if you need to, and let's move on into pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. If you chose the Malachite turtle, you are in the right place. Welcome to the House of Life, your guide to ordinary waking reality. Let us give honor to Their Majesty Lord Haru, the falcon god of ancient Egypt. May he guide us to swoop down from the skies to scoop up our prey with vigor, precision, and grace. The overall energy for the moonwave cycle is death. Well, don't let that scare you. It is true, we are seeing lots of mayhem in current events at the time of the filming of this moonwave. But this card, what this card truly means is an absolute and final end to a certain phase of your life. And in that way, this card can be a very welcome energy in any moonwave cycle. This is an especially positive card if you really are looking to, put a certain situation behind you. There's no turning back, from death or reversing it. It means that a situation that has gone on for entirely too long is going to come to an end once and for all. If this is not something you're looking for, then yeah, that can be a negative situation. No one wants to see a dearly loved one depart this mortal realm. On the other hand, if your life is needing a change, then death is your friend. What is at the heart of the situation? The Hierophant. This is an energy of being official, of having some kind of belief or ideology or way of thinking that is in concrete form and has some kind of organization built around it. So the Hierophant certainly, could be a priest, or someone like that, but it could also be, any member of the professions, law, doctor, academia, journalism, anything that builds up the official part of society, including the government. Hierophants are usually highly trained in whatever their specialty is. And one aspect of this is the ability to, conduct official rituals such as marriage, or, anything that requires a license, of some part. Of some kind. So, this is at the heart of this situation, either being someone like a Hierophant or having to deal with a Hierophant. What's in the upper world of the situation? The Two of Wands, having to make a choice. One choice will lead to sterility, and one choice will lead to fertility. One choice will lead nowhere, another choice will give you the world. And what's in the motivation? The Six of Swords. This is interesting to have, given that the overall energy is death, because this card is about getting away from something, seeking sanctuary, seeking refuge. Particularly as it affects the way you think, your mindset. You're wanting mental relief. So let's quickly overview the situation before we move on into your specific reality. The situation involves officials of some sort. And those officials, or us, or the other, are having to make a choice. And this is having to do with getting away from a situation we don't like, or at least, changing our mindset about it. We want refuge. What's going on with you specifically? The Seven of Pentacles. You are needing to make a plan. Things have gone down in the past, both good things and bad things. And obviously you're wanting to grow the good things for the future. I want to say right off the bat, you may want to check out the special edition War in Ukraine, Zelensky versus Putin reading that I just did, because the Death energy and the Seven of Pentacle energies, were really prominent in that. There could be some special link between your current situation and, what is going on in the Ukraine right now. But that doesn't necessarily have to be. That's probably only going to apply for a few of you. What's important to note here is that you need to make a plan. What's in your upper world? The Ace of Machetes, right. This card is about two things. One, some new way of thinking that you have discovered or that you are training yourself in. You have changed your mind about something, or you're thinking deeply about something in a new way, and you're wanting to apply what you're thinking. The other meaning is cutting out things that no longer serve you. The ancestors are telling me you have decided that there are certain, friends of yours that you're just no longer sure about. You're confused about what they're saying, and doing, and you're wondering if, is this the end of the road? Do I need to part ways, with these people? In the motivation is the Page of Machetes. You are seeking information. You are not satisfied with what you already know about something, and you're wanting to get more information about something. You are, actively talking with people, actively scrolling, your news feed, and researching, on the internet. But there's something about, this new way of thinking that you have or that you're wanting to apply. You're actively in the process of researching, the information to back it up. And this is feeding into your planning process. So the other is being kind of sneaky. They could be planning as well, and their plan is about an escape. And they are escaping with important information. They are acting on the down low in relation to this situation. The ancestors are telling me they really, really do not like what is going on. There's this really itchy feeling they have, like they gotta get out, and they gotta get out now. And they're angry. There's something about what they've learned or what they've found out or something that somebody told them that is really irritating them. Irritating is a mild way to describe it. And so they have already begun to put in place a plan of action to remove themselves from the situation. What's in their upper world? Justice, right. They're pissed off. They feel like they have been wronged. The ancestors are telling me they may be correct, about this. They, this isn't so much about good karma. This really is about justice, and maybe even legal justice. Balancing the scales in a way. They've been imbalanced. They've either given too much or they've received too much, and now they are actively seeking to rebalance the situation. What's in their motivation? The Seven of Wands, speaking up for themselves, defending themselves, doing what's right for them, saying no to, the crowd that is demanding that they be the same or continue to put up with a situation that is intolerable. Yeah, this other is angry. They're on the move. They're not taking the BS anymore, and they will not hesitate to set you straight if you think you're going to give them a piece of your mind, but have the wrong information. What's the outcome? The Queen of Pentacles. Someone is getting their bag. Someone's getting their coin. Someone is stepping into their mastery of the financial and material and environmental world. And they're doing so in style. And they're doing so in a way in which they will be able to express themselves in a way that makes perfectly clear that they know what they're doing in the financial realm. What's in the upper world of the outcome? The Three of Pentacles, teamwork, coordinating the productive efforts of people according to a vision that leads to greater prosperity for everyone involved. There could be a family involved here too. There could be child raising involved with this. Yeah, definitely work, office related, remote work could be involved. For some reason, I know this is odd, but party supplies might be involved. Yeah, something about celebrations, having a good time. Yeah, but also news and networking. What's in the motivation? The King of Pentacles. Yeah, this outcome is about money, livelihood, and also being able to enjoy the livelihood, doing something that you truly love to do, and making enough money at it that you'll be able to enjoy your surroundings. Go on vacations or, buy that new car, be able to splurge, on entertainment. Yeah, there's definitely something about bringing people together to make money while having fun and enjoying yourself. Yeah, before I get into the advice, I do want to say this spread definitely has, waxing moon in Gemini all over it, just because there's so much sword energy out on the table. And then there's also, these dualistic cards, making a choice, with the Two of Wands, balancing the scales, with justice. But this new way of thinking that you have, and all your research to find the information to back it up, and then the other has found out something and they're wanting to leave town. There is definitely all this energy about seeking out information, finding information, applying it in a way that allows you to move forward. There's this vibe here of making plans that allow you to have fun, with other people, but doing it in a very grounded way that builds relationships. Because the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles is a power couple. And not only is it a power couple, but they're in the same suit, which means that they understand each other. They're totally aligned. Their goals are aimed at the same endpoint. There's definitely, I think both for you and the other, the sense of needing to move forward, move on, while standing up for yourself and pursuing, your own vision. I think for half of you, there's going to be tension, between you and the other. And then for the other half, you're both like aligned, actually. You're aiming for the same thing. Maybe even competing, for the same thing. What's the advice? The Chariot, exactly. Right. Yeah, we've got both the Six of Swords and the Chariot, which are classic moving on type cards. And then the Seven of Swords is about, moving on in a down low, sort of fashion. So the advice here is to go with the flow if the flow is taking you somewhere else. You're needing to move on. And you're kind of needing to move on in a swift fashion, in grand style. And it's looking like, the gods are with you. You've got the blessings of the world of spirit in terms of making the next big move that you want to make. And it's looking like some official people, could help you. They're at the heart of the situation. But you need to make sure that you have a plan so that you know what you're talking about when you're dealing with these Hierophants. The other people involved may be looking to move on, but they're not telling you. So that's something you need to be aware of. Or it could be that your plans, will help these other people move on, but you need to keep it on the hush-hush. Whatever the case may be, we are looking to express our needs for financial abundance, and we're needing to have a vision for, how we can enjoy the material realm and have the resources to do so. Yeah, what we're looking at here is an end to a cycle of poverty, an end to a cycle of not having, enough resources to do what you want to do so that you can enjoy your life. Yeah, it's an end to stagnancy and frustration because you'll be getting the resources you need to move your life forward in a big way. That's a very positive message from the House of Life for the Moonwave cycle. Let's give honor to Their Majesty Lord Haru. If any of this resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and let's move on to pile 2. Hello, pile 2. If you chose the copper palm stone, then you're in the right place. Welcome to the Temple of the Sun. This is your guide to the behind-the-scenes workings of the world of spirit. Let us give thanks and praise to the Great and Holy Mother, Aset, as she folds us in the wings of love. All right, so we know that the overall energy is death. There is some, complete and final end to a life cycle. And we're being advised to get a move on. Let's go with the flow. The flow is actually going to take us out of this situation that we don't want and into a situation that we do want. There's very much an energy of leveling up and having fun while we do it, but we're needing to access, some information to help us make this a reality. What's at the heart of the situation? The Three of Swords. Okay. So there was some sort of situation of heartbreak. There may have been betrayals, based on information or lack of information. There may have been more than one person who was messing things up, for us. And this situation is about figuring out what went down so that we can heal a broken heart, so that we can get out of the frustration of having to constantly think about woulda, shoulda, coulda, and move on from the feelings of heartache that are plaguing us. What's in the upper world of the situation? Wow. The Ten of Swords. Yeah, there was a whole group of people that were involved in this situation of betrayal, backstabbing, and what have you. It's so interesting because the House of Life situation actually had a positive aura to it, but there was this undercurrent of, really needing to find out information so that we can make plans to, escape, to move on. And, others were being elusive in the situation. All of that, has been feeding into some really dark elements. It's looking like a lot of people really went way out of their way to bring harm to some other person. Perhaps it was you, perhaps it was a friend, perhaps it's people you work with. And you are now stumbling onto the information that you need to rectify this situation. Yeah, this information is going to bring in the death energies that bring a final end to, all the nonsense that went on. What is motivating this situation? The Ten of Swords. Wow. We have the Ten of Swords, both in the upper world and the lower world, framing the Three of Swords. Wow. The level of betrayal, manipulation, deceit was off the charts. If you thought things were bad, the information you're about to get is going to make it 3 times worse. What's going on with you directly? The Three of Baskets, the Three of Cups. Okay, well, there's something about, this situation probably involved a friend group. It may have involved a friend group who were really into, partying, of some sort. You may have been thinking that, the celebrations and the fun that we were having, were truly fun. But then you're coming into information where you're finding out about, the darker elements of, that scene. There certainly may have been drug or alcohol or, other kinds of addictions and abuses going on. You are actively thinking about, how to change up your friend groups, or how to bring justice to the situation, within your friend groups. And yet you're also determined not to let the information you learn and the situation that you're in, dim your light or undercut or undermine your zest for life. For you, having fun is an important part of life, and you're going to keep it that way. What's in the upper world? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The Eight of Wands. Right. Needing to communicate and communicate quickly with people both in your immediate environment and people far away. Email, the internet, Telegram. Yeah, there may be new communication apps that you're using to communicate with people. This is about both finding out the information that you need to find out and communicating the right kind of news to the right kind of people. What's in your motivation? The emerging one, the Fool, right. You're going to bring in a new way of life, a new set of friends with the information that you are gathering and disseminating. What's going on with the other? The Ace of Knives. I think this is the second double card we have out on the tray. The Ace of Swords, Rite. It's looking like the other has access to the information that you need to support your new way of thinking. Or it may be the people you are encountering have a new way of thinking, or some sort of opposing thoughts, or something. But there's something in the mental realm, something having to do with information that the other has and that you are seeking or encountering or confronting. What's going on in the upper world? The Two of Pentacles. They're having to juggle a lot of competing demands. They're multitasking a lot. They're really busy and struggling to keep balance. There's something about this new way of thinking they have, or a newfound determination to cut out whatever is not, working for them based on the new information that they have, that is, really throwing them for a loop and stressing them out, not so much emotionally, but just in terms of the amount of work they have to do. They thought things were going to be one way, now they're finding out they're going to be another way, and this is putting a lot of pressure on them to reorganize things and reprioritize. What's in their motivation? The Three of Staffs. The new information that they have, or this new way of thinking that they have, is forcing them out of their usual routine and causing them to be anxious about waiting for the other shoe to drop, or waiting for something to come in or be revealed. What's the outcome? The Page of Cups. This is sort of a bittersweet energy of, expectations have sort of been upset. So people are not quite sure about how they need to feel about something. Some of you may be wanting an apology for something. Others of you may feel like you need to apologize for something. Some of you will, regret something, while others of you will be really angry, about whatever you felt, whatever you found out, about this situation. There's a sense of not necessarily knowing what to do, emotionally. There was some kind of upset that is the result of this information that you're finding out that makes you unsure of what your feelings are. What's in the upper world? The Emperor. Yes. Something that should give you some consolation is that, while the information you're finding out is crazy, is revealing the dark sides of people that you thought were really cool, this is a necessary awakening for you that will help you step into your Emperor energies. As a result of the information that you have found out, and also as a result of your confused emotions, you will actually gain a greater sense of control, and you'll have a better idea of what to know, of what to do in regards to both your social life and your business affairs. We need to remember that the overall advice is the Chariot here. So this situation is actually really integral to you leveling up and moving on to greater success. What's in the outcome? The Six of Cups, right. The ancestors are saying a return to childhood innocence. Yeah, there's something about you were right after all. You know, like maybe you had hunches of what was going down, but, you know, you didn't want to feed into any negative energies, so you didn't really do or say anything, you know, about them. And now that you know what is really going on, you are able to revise what you thought about the past. And it's going to end up actually really reaffirming your inner child, really giving you a greater sense of appreciating, you know, who you were as a younger person. It's like the wool has been pulled from your eyes and you're able to say to yourself, you know, I was a really good kid all along. Or I really knew what was going on all along. I just didn't feel, you know, validated in my knowledge. It's definitely going to be accompanied with some feelings of, you know, nostalgia for, you know, the old times or past times. And you'll be able to take renewed comfort in who you are in the good times of the past. Very interesting. Yeah, the spiritual challenge here is really emotional. It's about having a renewed appreciation for your emotional development through the years as a result of the information that you are learning about other people, how they think, and you know, your own thought processes and how they've changed, you know, over the years. Yeah, there's something here that's really about just growing up, both emotionally and, you know, mentally. At the heart of the situation is some really harsh, tragic heartbreak that involved a group of people. Most likely, you know, your friends. And encountering someone who shocks you with a new way of thinking, or they're suddenly cutting off some people. And this leaves you, you know, a bit confused about what to think or feel. But you ultimately realize that it's part of a leveling up process for you that actually gives you greater control over your life and gives you a renewed appreciation of who you were as a younger person. That, my friends, is the Temple of the Sun. If any of this resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment. Otherwise, we will move on to pile 3. Hello, pile 3. If you chose the Angelite Palm Stone, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Valley of Paradise. Let us give thanks and praise to the great and holy Father Asar as he gives us practical guidance for the moonwave cycle. We know that the overall energy is death, an absolute and final end to a life cycle. And we know the advice is the Chariot, so not to be worried about this ending. It's looking like it's the vehicle that will move us forward and level us up. What's at the heart of the situation? The snake. There is a rat in our midst. There's someone who we think is a friend who is not a friend. There is someone who's trying to get us, or at least that's that idea or that feeling is floating in our atmosphere. There is a snake at the heart of this situation. In the previous piles, there was a lot of worry about, finding out some new information that made us realize that people we thought were of the light are actually of the dark. The snake is continuing to confirm that for us. What's in the upper world? Mirror. Well, who's the fairest of them all? Perhaps the snake is inside of us. Perhaps there's some sort of negative thinking or limited thinking or mistaken thinking, stinking thinking that is causing us to self-sabotage. Or perhaps if there are snakes around us in human form, perhaps they are finally causing us to wake up to the nature of the social situation or business situation that we are in. Perhaps we're not in the right community that we need to be in. What's in the motivation of the situation? A como no tuaso, extension of the heart, symbolizes understanding, agreement, trust, and partnership. Are we amongst people who understand us? Do we agree with them? Can we trust them? Are they worthy of being in partnership with? This situation is causing us to think twice about these issues. What's going on with you directly? You need a digital detox. Limit your screen time. In the earlier piles, there was a lot of need to find out information, and we were using all our means at our disposal to find out the information that we needed. So perhaps we've done too much of that. Perhaps we should set a timer, on the phone to make sure that we're not spending hours and hours and hours looking at things we don't need to be looking at, finding out information that is not particularly useful for us. Scrying true future. It could be that looking into a bowl of water will put us in a meditative state that allows us to access visions of what we truly need to know, that reminds us of what we are actually feeling, that somehow gives us hints, nudges, intuitions of who we need to be and where we need to be going. What's your power animal? The golden-backed frog. Things are changing quickly. Embrace it. Release negative emotions and commit to new beginnings. Take a leap of faith. Wonderful energy to have, with Chariot as the overall advice. Take a leap of faith. Yeah, take a break from, all the information gathering, on your phone, and make a move. The Chariot energy is a fast energy. There was also, an Eight of Wands that popped up earlier, which is another quick energy. So there's something here about being adaptable, being flexible, and willing to move. What's going on with the other? Building a future. This one is a keeper. Your love life is ascending to the next level. Right. There's something about love and relationships that will, help you move to the next phase of your life. The people around you are thinking about the future, so you should be too. scrying in a bowl of water would help you figure out some stuff. Being aware of, who is not going to help you move forward is going to help you move forward. Who here is building your future and who here is blocking your future? What does the other have? Nephthys, the High Priestess, intuition, mystery. They are on a spiritual quest. That's what they've got on their mind. They're wanting to delve into their own intuitions, figure out their own mysteries. That's helping them to build their future. What's in their motivation? Famine. Do not pick up what is discarded. Let's read from the book. Okana is always a bit, I like to say salty, but it's interesting. What's in the book always seems to be a little different from what the card seems to suggest. This oracle is really about the shadow. Do not pick up what is discarded. Operating from a place of lack on a grand scale, this is the impoverished mind governing your every word, belief, or action. Right. I don't even need to read the rest of it because that was just echoing what we were saying about the snake in the mirror. Scarcity thinking, we're letting that go. One of the earlier piles, you may want to check out, pile 2. Or actually pile 1, because a lot of that was about abundance. Releasing ways of thinking that convince us we don't deserve to have all our needs met. Interesting. I drew 2 cards for the outcome. Wow. It's so appropriate that we got 2 cards here because Gemini is all about duality. If you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. This is what we were just saying. Creativity is intelligence, having fun. Yes, we've been talking a lot in some of the earlier piles about having fun and using what we know to have fun. It's a great tandem message to have with, if you want to fly, give up everything that weighs you down. How about using your mind to have fun? How about using your mind to collect information that makes you feel good and allows you to have a fun time? How about using your mind and the information you gather in a way that it lets you fly so you can escape everything that's weighing you down? Self-control is key. There's a way in which self-control can actually be fun. If you're the type of person who has a tendency to think that, only the negative thoughts are valid, then self-control can help you to realize that, maybe the positive thoughts are valid. Maybe they're the only thoughts that are valid. Controlling the mind is a key to happiness. That's why so many spiritual people are into meditation. When we let mental programming control our thoughts, it blocks us from accessing the kind of thoughts and committing to the kind of actions that make us happy. Self-control is key to having fun. Trust. The motivation of the outcome is trust. Don't trust what you are being told. There is more to the situation. The answers lie within the finer details which are not being shared with you. Right. Perhaps the snake is a person who is trying to sneak away without revealing the information that you need in order to enjoy your life. The advice here is to be a little suspicious, but let that suspiciousness be your motivation to get to the bottom of the situation by finding out the information. And it's looking like the information will only be trustworthy if it is actually helping you to enjoy your life. You should be suspicious of information that is causing you to feel bad about yourself, or causing you to feel bad about, the others around you, if those people are your allies and are trying to help you move forward. At the heart of the situation is a snake. The snake could be inside yourself in terms of negative thinking, or it could be outside of yourself in terms of a person or people who are trying to undermine you, especially if they're trying to do it with negative thinking. You need a digital detox, limit your screen time. If your newsfeed is depressing you, just don't pay attention to it anymore. It is looking like there are some people around you who want to build a future with you. Reward those people by having fun times with them, using your intelligence to have fun with them. Because if you want to fly, you need to give up everything that weighs you down. It's looking like you're bringing an end to a cycle of life that was depressing you with negative thinking. And when you finally release all that negative thinking, you'll be able to level up, move your life forward in a really big way. That is your advice from the Valley of Paradise. Let us give thanks and praise to the Great and Holy Father Asar. If any of this has resonated with you, please like, share, subscribe, comment, and let's move on to Pile 4. Pile 4, if you chose the green teardrop with all these amazing inclusions in it, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Council of the Elders. Let us honor the Council of the Elders as they integrate all of the wisdom from the previous 3 piles. We know that the overall energy is death. That doesn't necessarily have to mean an actual death, although we're getting lots of blood and gore in the news these days. What it more likely means is that there is a final and complete end to a certain cycle of life. And it's looking like that's going to be a happy occasion for you because you're getting the Chariot as your advice. This is about moving forward and leveling up in a big way. Let yourself do that. How can you let yourself do that? Well, it's looking like you're going to be dealing with some sort of official person or persons, some group of professionals who may very well give you some advice or help you to cope with a situation of great heartache that was occasioned by some kind of snake. Some person in your environment who is trying to undermine you, or even your own thought processes, which were allowing you to give too much credit to negative thinking. What's in the upper world? Needing to make a choice. And this choice probably has to do with choosing what's good for you, putting yourself on the path to your happiness. No longer making room for a past situation of backstabbing and betrayal that involved a lot of people. And really taking a good look in the mirror. Why were you hanging out with those people? Why were you letting them run your life? You're choosing now to no longer be influenced by those people anymore, now that you know what you know. What's the motivation of this situation? Yeah, people are wanting to move on. You don't need to have, backstabbers in your life. And here again, we have the Ten of Swords. What went on was epic in terms of the negativity that was thrown at you. Half of the negativity you weren't even aware of. The situation was way worse than you even thought it was, and what you did know about was actually pretty bad to begin with. You are recommitting to being with people who are heart-filled and heart-guided. You yourself know how to extend your heart, and that's why it was so shocking that when you extended your heart to others, they betrayed you. Going forward, you will only accept relationships built on understanding, agreement, trust, and partnership. What's going on with you directly? You need to have a plan. Some things went well in the past, some things didn't, but you are going to move forward with a plan of action. This plan of action involves making better choices about friendship, recommitting to a life that is filled with fun and pleasure, but that also is very wise about what real fun and real pleasure is. A big hint, it doesn't involve associating with backstabbers. And you're going to limit your screen time because you don't need a negative news feed to make you more paranoid than you already are. What's in your upper world? You've got a whole new way of thinking, a whole new lease on life that has to do with reevaluating what friendship is, what fun is, and who can help you fill your life with light. You are being influenced by faraway communications, and you give as good as you get. You're finding out information through your networks, through your phone, through your computer, but you're also sending out messages about the new you through those same devices. But you're also relying on some very old-fashioned technologies to put you in touch with your intuition. There's something about meditating on a bowl of water that is going to remind you about who you really are and give you some clues about how to move forward. What's in your motivation? You're an information seeker. You know what's what, and you're going to back up your knowledge with facts that you found from your research, that you found out from talking with your friends. And this new knowledge is going to not only give you a new lease on life, it's really going to finally put you on the path to a new life. You're really changing things up. Life has always been an adventure for you, and this is just the next chapter. You're realizing that things are changing quickly. You're not going to mess up your adventures by continuing to let negative thoughts, block you from your progress. You're willing to take a leap of faith now. What's going on with the other? They're trying to sneak away with some important information. Maybe they think that shielding you from this information will actually protect you. Maybe that's true. Or maybe they think you just don't need to know this information. And maybe they're actually trying to harm you by withholding this information. It's looking like this information that they have is related to a new way of thinking. They may be cutting people out of their lives. Maybe you're one of those people. But that necessarily doesn't have to be a bad thing, especially given all this new information that you're suddenly finding out. In any case, they are hell-bent on building a future. Some of them want to build that future with you, some of them don't. What's in the upper world? Justice, right? They want justice as badly as you do. Some of them are working very hard to deliver justice for you. Some of them are working very hard to protect themselves from you. Either way, what they have found out has rocked their world, changed things up, made them get a new set of priorities. And so now they're having to busily multitask to juggle a whole new set of demands that they thought they never were going to have to put up with in the first place. Just like you, they are having to rely on their intuition to really get to the bottom of matters. They are realizing that things are far more mysterious than they initially thought. What's motivating them? They're realizing they need to stand up for themselves. They weren't expecting to have to wait for something, but given what they now know, given how they want to move on, they are realizing that the expectations of the past no longer are valid, and now they're anxiously having to wait for the other shoe to drop. That probably involves you in some way, and probably involves the information that you have, or it probably involves a confrontation that you need to have with them in order for you to get the information that you need. And this is all about addressing the effects of scarcity consciousness. How can we release the limited thinking that undermines our prosperity? That's what's motivating them. What's the outcome? Getting rich and having fun while doing it. Yeah, there's something about this interplay of information, the research you're doing, the way that the other is behaving, which is all about this dance about, who gets the resources that they need to move their life forward. And the Queen of Pentacles is not just about, the money. She's about having fun with her life and enjoying her life, knowing that she has the resources to fully express herself. What you're finding out about, how to get the resources you need and how to deal with the backstabbing and betrayal, the politics of resources, has left you emotionally confused. But here's what you need to know in order to resolve that emotional confusion. Creativity is intelligence having fun. If your thoughts are not allowing you to have fun, then you need to ditch them. Creative intelligence is always fun. Ultimately, this is about you being able to fly, being able to enjoy your life, and being able to express that joy to others. It helps if you give up everything that weighs you down. Scarcity thinking, negative thinking, these are not going to help you. It doesn't make you, more noble or more virtuous. It just makes you depressed. What's in the upper world? Teamwork. needing to deal with others in order to find out the information you need to make your life fun. Believe it or not, thinking that it's fun is going to help you level up and give you a bigger sense of control over your life. Why? Because it's going to reinforce your own self-control. You know, when you let negative thinking and scarcity thinking run away with your mind, your life spirals out of control. When you discipline yourself to have fun thoughts, have abundant thoughts, you raise your vibration and it attracts to you a world filled with wonder, adventure, and love. Think about it. Self-control is key to fun, to enjoying yourself, to having a life of adventure. What's motivating all this? The King of Pentacles. It's not going to be enough for you to express your vision of abundance. You're going to want to actually manifest it. That's what's motivating this outcome. There's something about manifesting abundance that will enable you to revisit childhood memories and make you realize how you were the chosen one all along. You'll reevaluate your childhood in ways that enabled you to see that your gifts and your abundance were there all along from the very beginning. And you'll finally learn to be suspicious of ways of thinking and of information that make you feel bad about yourself. You'll finally understand that the reason people were withholding information from you, or were giving you the wrong information, or were making you feel bad about yourself, is because they were insecure. They did not want you to have the life you were destined for because they knew that they were not destined for it. You'll learn to start trusting yourself more than you trust others. And this will actually begin to bring in people that you can trust. Your self-love will bring to you the kind of love from others that helps you to build a future with them. You are finally learning that fun is a key to your destiny. And any kind of thinking that discounts that is something you need to let go of. The death that we are talking about here, right, is the death to negative thinking, death to some belief that having a life that is not fun is somehow noble and virtuous. Your indecision and stagnation comes from buying into kind of thinking that, says that you can't have everything you want because that would be selfish. You are stepping into a fresh new way of feeling about your life. You're finally discovering that you deserve to have fun and to enjoy yourself and to access all the pleasures that your senses can bring to you in this lifetime. And this is the key to your magic. It's the key to gaining access to all the resources you need to live a life full of passion, full of fire. The death you're experiencing is the death of stagnation. You are leveling up and moving forward. You're doing this because you have a new way of thinking that you are implementing. It's going to bring in way more abundance than you were even planning to bring in. And that old life of missed opportunities is just never, ever going to plague you ever again. You are the Chariot, baby. You're moving forward. That is the Council of the Elders for this moonwave cycle. Let us honor the Council of the Elders for giving us all that wisdom about how to have fun. Oh. The ancestors have spoken.